in the, over there. Yes, by where we used to live in that, not Uplands, Highlands, no, Heights. The Heights. And it wasn't even done, Heights wasn't even done, and I was knocking on doors to get the original community center and pool in, and of course, the community supermajority, and the school district knows how hard that is. But I believe that one of our fundamental roles as city government is to provide citizens with work, living, and play. And that community center has outshined any estimates that anybody could have produced, including the YMCA, on performance. And that's been a treasure of our community. It's a huge asset, and we need to expand that. Real quickly on that, I wasn't going to dive into this, and Jim will probably shoot me for doing this, but on the pool issue, and I'll end with this. Yes, Sideview. In fact, we have Sideview board member, Sideview Parks board member here. What that's going to come down to for two tax bases is how do you dedicate, in the case of Sideview, $30 million plus to build a facility that's not in their district? How does Snoqualmie spend $10 to $12 million of its taxpayer money for a pool at Torgerson? So that's one of the things we as just so you know, those conversations are going on. There's a meeting scheduled in 2 weeks to sit down with them again. Those meetings with Sideview are happening, but what we have to remember is we are two different communities who are geographically separated by a floodplain. And so I am absolutely convinced that both parties will do whatever that is best for their constituents. Just remember, there are two different tax bases and two different geographical locations. And so my job is to make sure that we're spending Snoqualmie City money appropriately, which is why we voted to fund a survey that will go out of the survey and end all be all. Nope, it's not. But it's better than what we know now. And we hire statisticians whose job it is to mathematically determine what a certain sample is to get a certain result, and that's what we approved to pay for. And I'm excited to see this result. I don't know what they'll be, but I'm certainly open to having an informed decision. So that's me. Yes.
So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be calling you who you are.
That's okay. You call whoever.
So you said that the city council has only approved a couple of new growth things and nothing else. But I understand that the council turned those decisions over on whether to do further development to the Puget Sound Regional Council. So
I don't believe the Puget Sound Regional Council approved anything within the city of Snoqualmie. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, my understanding is that you guys are not making these decisions anymore. You've given it to some other council.
That is categorically false. I'd invite you to come to city council.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you another chance to just reiterate this point that you made, because to me it's the most important thing about this episode.
Softball already.
Yeah, exactly. It's already a point that you made, but I just wanted you to say it one more time for me. If the Snoqualmie City and City Council is not the body that is approving growth, making sure that it's done in a certain way, who is it that will determine the growth for Snoqualmie and Snoqualmie Valley?
The county has the right to take that back.
It's Puget Sound Regional Council.
It is not the Puget Sound Regional. It is not. It's not.
They set our goals, yeah.
No, they set their own arbitrary rules that they would like us to follow, which also contradict King County's Urban Growth Management Act, but that's a different thing altogether. So yes, it is our opportunity to annex it responsibly, or if we abdicate that responsibility, that is their ability to take that back and do whatever they want with it. And
Thank you.
I love living in King County, but I don't want them making land decisions for me and my citizens. Yeah.
So question, so who's deciding or not deciding?
The hearing
on who
examiner
is
is-
senior citizen and low income. I've lived here 10 years and I'm priced out. My children and grandchildren live here, and as I get older I need to stay here, but I can't afford any of the houses, and I'm low income. So how can I get into this 191 places that's going to be built?
So great question. I'll be totally honest with you. My wife and I, as we're approaching empty nesters, I've got my own business, so I'm sort of stuck here, which I love. But we've had very explicit conversations about whether we can retire in King County. And I'll tell you how much that has to do with Snoqualmie, almost nothing. So it was hinted out by Mr. Dwight earlier, our tax model in the state of Washington, whatever side of the aisle you're on, is not meeting the needs that it needs to. And that goes far beyond the 0.5% levy lift that we took as a city, which will be is a rounding error in your tax bill. I think education is 50 to 60%, if I look on the pie chart between the state and the city. So, and that's not a criticism, just a fact, right? And so until there's a different way to tax in this city, and I don't even know what I'm proposing, or sorry, in the state, and I don't even know what I'm proposing. I'm just saying, our hands are tied in terms of what we can do. So what we can control at city council is, to some degree, we can control the reliance we have on what some would call a broken model around property taxes. So we can diversify away from that more. Now, how do you get into that apartment complex? That's not run by the city, so I don't know. There's a website, it's on the city website. You know.
I know. I serve on the City Economic Development Commission as well, and if you email Mark Hoffman, who's the Planning and Community Relations Director in the city, he's keeping a list. The city is not allowed to reserve any of those units for city use, but the city is the first group who's gonna know when you can start applying. And so as soon as we know that date, as soon as the city is aware of the date that residents who qualify income-wise can start applying to get one of those units, you'll get emailed if you give them your email. And it sounds like, I wanna say that's in the next 2 or 3 months.
And we can't even restrict, we can't even restrict, like, it can't be like, Snoqualmie citizens first. Like, there's nothing we know. By the way, the city also cannot, I know it's talk, the city has actually virtually no control over what we can start to develop to do. So, again, you talk about broken systems, it's governed by law as to what we can charge on where those fees can impact fees.
So, another point is, my husband, who's now deceased, been deceased 9 years, he and I were high income producing, so therefore we pay high taxes for a lot of years. I'm 68. So, I paid a lot of money for taxes, like you. I see, I don't mind paying for schools, I really don't, because I have grandchildren here. But I think as our situations change, like me being single and widowed, I'm thrust in a whole new category I've never belonged in, never felt I belonged in, and yet there's nothing out here for me now, not a thing.
And when you say not a thing,
discriminated
are you
against
talking
those.
just financially, or are you looking for a social infrastructure?
Not
too?
social,
Okay.
a home base to feel included in this community. So this community to me is, when I hear everybody planning, it's, let's bring the youth here and bring the kids here, okay? You guys are getting older, people are moving on, but those of us that are 10 and 20 years older than what's here, we're being displaced. And I would have to move here and live here. There's no place for me, absolutely no place for me that I can afford. And I feel somewhat discriminated against, or that there's not a position that anybody's considering for me to live here, You senior citizens just go someplace else.
So the only
And
parcel.
I'm ready for assisted living, so.
Good,
You know what I
you
mean?
don't sound like it. You sound very, very alike. So what I would say is the last parcel of land we had to do affordable housing on
Right.
was the 191, that was it. I didn't, at least since I've been on council. There's also some affordable housing, we'll go into sales, just as several years down the road when the houses actually start getting built. It's only 170 something, 150 miles. So there's a handful of affordable housing, but here's the trick. I don't know how we get more affordable housing in the valley without more development.
Without what?
More development.
Okay, I'm sorry, we're gonna.
Have I taken more than my time?
We
I do that all the
still
time.
have 3 people left, and we're